Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio. Hi, my name is David Ibiam. Come with me as I take you through a journey of all the goodies P1 Plus has to offer. My man. If you're meeting us for the first time, we are a multiple award-winning real estate company with a track record of excellence and great customer satisfaction. And here is a list of the estates and locations prices that we have.
A whopping sum of 3 million naira gets you a plot of land at Billionaire Colony by Cedarwood.
Billionaire Resort by Cedarwood is still selling at 12 million naira.
Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 7 is still 7 million naira. Take advantage of this price before the price review.
Billionaire City by Cedarwood is currently 20 million naira per plot, and Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 4 is 9 million naira per plot.
So you can get a slice of 464 square meter at Billionaire Resort by Cedarwood Phase 2 for as low as 7.5 million naira right now, up until August 6th, after which the price changes to 12 million naira. Thank you.
Billionaire Island by Cedarwood Phase 8 is still up and selling for 5.5 million naira.
Also selling is Lush Garden Phase 4 Extension Aba, going for 3.5 million naira. You can also get Cedarwood City Phase 2 Owerri, going for 5.5 million naira. All right, it is another beautiful Monday morning on Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and welcome to Table Talk this beautiful Monday morning. It's exactly 7 minutes past the hour 10. Trust you had a wonderful night rest and hope your Monday morning is going fine as planned. On Table Talk today, we'll be looking into a conversation that we have titled the current state of the nation and the way forward. On Table Talk every Monday, we bring to you a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. And today is going to take a different shape, as announced last month that Table Talk has now been divided into various segments. Every first Monday for the month on Table Talk, we look into different stories making the rounds. We carefully select a few of them. We talk about them and also give you the opportunity to talk about them as well. Second Mondays of every month, we bring a topical conversations on current affairs. And third Mondays of the month as well, we look into current stories, and this time around from foreign scenes. And then fourth or the last Mondays of every month we'll have a debate. So today being the second Monday for the month of August, the topic this morning on Table Talk is the topic we want to look into this morning is, the current state of the nation and the way forward. We look forward to an amazing time as we're joined by my very guest who would be joining the conversation via phone call. Let me put a call through immediately, and we'll see how we can progress from there this morning. But then, what we would always do on Table Talk every Monday morning, is to bring to you a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. So do well to like, comment, and share so that everyone around you will be part of the session this beautiful Monday morning. All right, I'll be reading from Daily Post, a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. The very first we have here says, bandits have ambushed soldiers on patrol in Gudu local government area of the state. Area of Sokoto State, killing 4 of them. 2 others were also injured during the attack, which occurred this weekend. The second one here, quickly, some top officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has been arrested by the Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Commission over alleged mismanagement or diversion of the 90 billion naira released by the federal government to subsidize the 2024 Hajj pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. Number 3, several state police commands in the north part of the country have begun the prosecution of arrested protesters during the 10-day NSAS governance in Nigeria. Nationwide protests, over 1,000 protesters were arrested during the just concluded hunger protest. All right. Number 4, a 41-year-old woman, Adenike Salami, has been arraigned before the Butemeta Magistrate Court in Lagos State on charges of forgoing an airline ticket and fraudulently obtaining $2,500. Salami, who appeared before Magistrate Waliu Salami, is facing 3 counts of conspiracy, fraud, and forgery brought against her by the police. All right, number 5, the Federal High Court in Lagos has further remanded the alleged drug lord Sulaimon Jimo, also known as Olowo Diogede or Temo, for an additional 14 days in the custody of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Justice Akintayo Aluko extended Temo's remand while granting an ex parte motion filed by the NDLEA. Number 6, no fewer than 273 army officers on Sunday began a week-long senior staff course qualifying examination held at the Jaji Military Cantonment, Kaduna State. The examination is being conducted by the Training and Doctrine Command, TRADOC, Nigeria Army. Number 7, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the LEA said it intercepted 532 parcels of loud, a synthetic strain of cannabis, sativa Indian hemp, at the Tinkan Seaport, Lagos State. The agency director, media and advocacy, Mr. Femi Babafemi, said this in a statement on Sunday in Abuja. Number 8, gunmen operating in Polongo Aguta local government area of Anambra State kidnapped 3 persons, including a lawyer, in the early hours of Sunday. And an eyewitness speaking in a trending video on social media said the government stormed the community between 7:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. to carry out the operation. And number 9, quickly, the Nigerian Senate on Sunday denied allegations that it determined its own salaries and allowances or received special fiscal packages from the presidency. This was contained in a statement issued by the Senate spokesman, Yemi Adaramodu, in Abuja on Sunday, adding that the 10th Senate also has not received any financial patronage from the presidency. Number 10 and last, a 25-year-old contract staff member of construction company has allegedly jumped into an iron melting pot of the factory and died in Lagos. The deceased, whose name was not ascertained, as at press time was working at the factory on Shagamu Road, Ikorodu. All right, and that's a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. Let's quickly segue into the conversation for today. The state of the nation and the way forward. We'll pick a few stories that we want to pick. We'll pick a few stories that is centered on the topic we currently want to talk about. But before then, let's quickly connect with my very guest this morning, and then we'll continue. Just give me a few seconds. All right, good afternoon. Did I say good afternoon? Good morning, Mr. Victor. All right.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good to have you again this beautiful Monday morning. Thank you for your time. Yes, we are currently looking at the topic we titled this morning, the current state of the nation and the way forward. And we want to look into some of the things from the news this morning that is talking about, or will I say that, that would really emphasize on what, that emphasizes on the current state of the nation. And then we'll prefer solutions and then see how we can have a way forward. Okay, network might be a challenge. Let me just quickly see how I can migrate to a better network so that we won't have this unnecessary boom boom that we are hearing in the background. All right, so quickly, the very first one here, like I read from during the summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about, it says hunger protest, police began trial of 1,135 detained demonstrators. This is from the Punch newspaper. Okay. Now, before then, I'd love to come to you. Police began trial of 1,135 detained protesters. Do you think the right of those protesters based on law, which is the fact that as a citizen of Nigeria, you have the right to protest. In your own opinion, Mr. Victor, don't you think their right has been trampled upon for the fact that they came out to protest, except for the fact that they were arrested for vandalism or unlawful activities? But then the question is, if police have detained 1,135 protesters and they are set to begin trial, I mean, is it not against their rights as citizens of Nigerians?
Personally, I would say, we spoke about this. That was last week.
Yes.
You know that it's the right of the citizens to protest. It's their right. We have freedom of expression. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then there are people that make use of this freedom to cause mayhem to the society. I also said that even there are people that will utilize this opportunity to cause, to loot, to cause all manner of havoc. You know, using the opportunity as turn it this are coming out for. So that was what happened. So the police had to arrest. This one, it's not like they have been detained.
Okay.
They arrested them for trial.
Yes.
They picked their names for trial. You know, some already pleaded guilty, while some pleaded not guilty.
Okay.
So they are going to take them through trial, and then those that are guilty will be persecuted, because there are people that there was one store that they looted billions.
Yes.
So imagine something like that. They are not supposed to keep quiet. You know, they are supposed to make sure that those people that have done those things, not for the kind of judiciary system we have in Nigeria. Some persons that are innocent might even, their heads might even go for it.
All right.
Even go for it, you know.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. Let me quickly switch my internet connection to a better network and just hold on a bit and let's see. Hopefully this will be better. I might have to call you back so that I can just have a successful switch. But then if you just joined, we are Nigeria's first real estate radio. We're currently talking about, we're talking about the current state of the nation and the way forward. We're looking into few stories which expresses the current state, or which talks about the current state of the nation, and then we'll see how we can profile, see how we can move forward from there. We started off with the very first news that we heard this morning from the Punch. It says hunger protest, police began trial of 1,135 detained demonstrators. A few paragraphs from the Punch about from the Punch concerning this very story. It says there that several state police commands in the northern part of the country have begun the prosecution of arrested protesters during the 10-day End Bad Governance in Nigeria nationwide protest. While the protests were relatively peaceful in the south, it turned violence in the north, with several lives lost, property, billions of naira destroyed, leading to the declaration of curfew in no fewer than 5 states. The protest, which held from August 1st to 10th, was against the rising cost of living, which has been fueled by fuel subsidy removal, surging inflation at a 28-year high, and government economic policies that pushed the naira to a record low against the dollar. At least 17 persons were reportedly killed in Abuja, Kano, Niger, Borno, Kaduna, and Jigawa, and several others injured in the opening day of the protest, with Amnesty International condemning the use of deadly action against the protesters and accusing the security operatives of killing at least 21 protesters. All right, let me try to connect quickly with my very guest, and as I wait for him to join me. All right, yeah, Mr. Victor, I had to quickly switch my network to a better network so we can have a good reception and a clearer call. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I think this is better. All right. So, yeah, you were talking about, reading from the Punch. I said, I said protests, which was held from August 1 to 10, was against the rising cost of living. But, just like what you made mention of, the fact that some parts of the north, it was really bloody. It was something else. It wasn't what the organizers of the protesters planned. It was absolutely something else, which I condemn. All right. Now, remember, I made mention of the fact that, yes, those that have been arrested, let it be that they were arrested for going against the law in as much as they were trying to exercise their rights as citizens of Nigerians. Where your rights stop, where your madness stop, now there another person could start. But it is a good thing that they have been arrested, tried, when trial comes, and I hope they'll be able to learn. And then, let's quickly talk about the way forward when it comes to protests in Nigeria concerning anything. Let's point out a few things that we can adjust, we can start doing when it has to do with protests in Nigeria. I'll begin with you. Are you there?
Yeah. I didn't get the question. Please.
Okay. Yeah, I said, let's, today we're talking about the current state of the nation, and we began with the detain and the trial of 1,135 protesters. We've talked about the fact that, yes, these guys have been arrested for, being outrageous. Now, in as much as we're talking about the current state, we'll also talk about the way forward. And the question I asked is, what is the way forward? What should we suggest, or what should be, let's profess some solutions and bring up some suggestions concerning the way forward when it comes to every and any form of protest in Nigeria. The things that we can begin to do, adjust, and ensure that every form of protest will be peaceful and sensible with results.
Yeah. Number one way is the federal government should give their full support the citizens expressing to speak out.
Okay.
One, security tight. Security should be very tight. That's people are allowed to come out to do whatever. The police should stand not to fight against them.
The police should stand.
The problem in Nigeria is that when they are supposed their job is to protect properties. Their job is to protect the lives of the citizens. That they are there. Now, the problem there is that this they are fighting against those protesting. So it's now like a mixed multitude. It will be difficult. It will be difficult for them to fish out that are hoodlums. It will be difficult for them to fish out those that want advantage of the protesting to cause mayhem. It will be because their own mindset to fight against the protest. That's their mindset. The protest, The protest itself is a right of citizens. We have freedom of expression.
Yes.
We have freedom to express what we feel should in the country. We have freedom to talk about what is in the country. But the problem there is that these people don't secure. They fight. You see, when they came out for protest, they started throwing. They started throwing tear gas. Telling people. Well, no, they are the ones that are supposed to protect and watch out for people that want to cause havoc. The security needs to be tight in terms of protesting. The government needs to send out the armed forces, the police, the army. They should all be on standby, not to disrupt the protest,
but to protect.
Secure lives and properties. Protect the citizens that are out there.
All right.
That way,
yes,
we would always have a peaceful protest.
Okay. So for moving forward, law enforcement agencies should be on ground to protect and not to, fight against those that are, that are out there to protest. And that reminds me of a video I saw. Protesters talking to police, talking to the uniform men, trying to encourage them that you are to protect us and not to fight us. We are out here to protest for the betterment of the nation, which would in turn benefit you. And while after the motivational talk, I saw the policemen, all right? I saw the policemen, they had to, just step down and move back a bit and then give the, people the chance to express themselves. And then, yes, it is important that law enforcement agencies need to understand that if the nation is good, it will also be good for them. If the nation is bad, if the country is bad, it would be bad for them. They should work with discretion. I mean, people are out there to protest. I mean, if people don't have reasons to protest, they will not protest. And if people have reasons to protest, they should be protected. All right? Protected from those that would want to, take advantage of such activity. A comment on Facebook says, "Good morning, Cedarwood Luxury Radio. In my own opinion, about the trials, let's not write out the fact that some hoodlums hijacked the protest and decided to loot and destroy properties. But in all honesty, were they the ones the police arrested?" That is the question. Very, very important question. Yes, very important questions. The 1,135 demonstrators that were arrested, were they the ones that broke the law? Were they the ones that committed crime, took advantage of the protest to commit crime against the nation and against people's lives and property? All right, very, very important, deep question there. But in all honesty, yes, were they the ones? I think the police people need to come out and clarify Nigerians and let them know that the people that were arrested were those that were involved, not those that peacefully carried out. You see it now. All right, or the innocent protesters. We only want to exercise. Who only want to exercise their fundamental rights. All right, let's quickly take our very next story. This morning we are looking into the current state of the nation and the way forward. And to we have a few stories that expresses the current state of the nation, and we'll take a few, suggest some things that we can do that would help us move forward immediately. ICPC grew stop NACON officials over 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy. While I was listening to the radio this morning and also on Arise TV, something similar or something that was, said on both platforms was the fact that why is it that Nigerian government are spending so much money for, for activity that should be a private thing? Just, for instance, now I want to go on, I want to go on a honeymoon with my wife to Dubai, and federal government is paying for you see it now. Why is it so? Now, I'll just take 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraph from this story. Some top officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria have been arrested by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission over alleged mismanagement of diversion of the 90 billion naira released by the federal government to subsidize the 2024 Hajj pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. The officials were arrested in their offices and taken to the Anti-Graft Agency's office following their failure to honor earlier invitations extended to them by the ICPC. Is the audacity for me when, the law enforcement agency, sends an invitation to you to come clarify yourself based on a corrupt allegation or something like that. They won't honor the invitation. Is the audacity for me. All right. A source at the commission added that the officials were interrogated for hours on the 90 billion naira subsidy for pilgrims upon the arrival at the Anti-Graft Agency's office, speaking on condition of anonymity because they lacked official permission to speak to journalists. The source said on Wednesday, some of our men were at the Hajj Commission's office to bring some officials to our office. We invited these officials, but they didn't show up. They were interrogated upon their arrival at the Commission's office. The officials are being investigated following petitions against them as regards the subsidy for pilgrims. Do you think it's sensible for federal government to sponsor people that want to go on their personal spiritual activity? And if it is compulsory, if it is something that is very compulsory and necessary, then the federal government should also begin to support people that want to go on vacation, honeymoon. For instance, now me and Mr. Victor want to, just visit. Victor, which country would you love us to visit? Is it Canada for vacation? And then we'll apply for the federal government to sponsor our trip going and coming and every other thing that is involved. Do you think it makes... Yes, does it make sense? What's your opinion? What's your take on this? I mean, this is the current state of the nation that we are. This is our current reality as a nation.
Yeah, using public funds for personal spree.
Mm-hmm.
It's unacceptable. That's why we are trying as much as we can to talk about these things, so that they can cut down personal, funds that they use for personal stores.
Mm-hmm.
Public funds. They use public funds to go on private jet spree. You use public funds for a lot of things, personal stuff that has nothing to do with the betterment of the country. Even if probably they have access to some of these things, it should not be as expensive as they spend. The luxury is just too much. Sincerely, the luxury that our politicians are using and the money they are spending on luxury, on their personal life, is just too much.
So what are we going to say the way forward should be on this? Should federal government put a total stop to this? Because obviously officials of the Hajj pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia has been, arrested, or will I say invited, or what's the word I'm going to use now? Corruption has crippled into this, and I'm sure it didn't really begin today. Probably maybe not because of the amount. It didn't come so obvious. People have definitely taken advantage of the fact that the government is sponsoring pilgrimage and pilgrims and all that thing. Is it a sign that the federal government should put a stop to it, and anybody that wants to go on pilgrimage should do that on his or her personal funds?
Yes, or like I said, they should have an allocated funds that they should be given based on the fact that they are occupying a particular position.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yes. But then it should not just be, look at how much, 90 billion
in naira
allocated. 90 billion, yes, naira.
And that 90 billion can
it's not even it was not the 90 billion was not even sufficient. You know, it was not even sufficient. So can you imagine? So for me, they should just try as much as they can. The federal government should just try as much as they can to cut down funds. You know, use those funds for the betterment of the country.
Exactly. When we have a lot of things that 90 billion naira can do for Nigeria, and not people who wants to go on. I mean, this is a personal thing. So, I mean, aside from the fact that even if you're a government official, you are going on pilgrimage. It's your personal life. Of what benefit is your pilgrimage to the nation? Okay, if 100 of us go on pilgrimage now, we come back. What benefit? What is the positive impact is it bringing to the nation? That's, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a... All right, let's move on to the very next story, which is, you know, the current reality we find ourselves, or the current... What is the current reality we find ourselves here in Nigeria? Now, NIS probes woman for destroying husband's passport at Lagos airport. I saw this video and it was just everywhere on social media. I guess I was the only one that didn't even bother to watch the video. But then it's in the news this morning. And this is what is currently going on. This is the current state of the nation. That's, you know, somebody arrived. And then let me just take 4 paragraphs from this very story and we'll say a few things concerning that. The Nigerian Immigration Service has launched a probe into an incident involving the destruction of a Nigerian passport at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. This was contained in a statement released on Sunday by the NIS Public Relations Officer, Kenneth Udo. The Nigerian Immigration Service has launched a formal investigation following the circulation of a video on social media showing a female traveler destroying a Nigerian standard passport at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The statements read: the incident captured on video and widely circulated on social media has sparked concern among the public. It showed a female traveler identified as Mrs. Sigbiabo tearing her husband's Nigerian standard passport shortly after they arrived at Lagos airport on Saturday, August 10, 2024. I don't know. I saw a video of her this morning. She was explaining our own part of the story, but irrespective of the reason, we should respect our national identity. What's your opinion on this? I mean, this is a total disrespect to the nation Nigeria. Aside from the fact that a few persons have been arrested for is it mitigating the naira and all that. I mean, things that identifies us as a people, as a nation, such as the naira, the coat of arms, the Nigerian flag. And I think we're going to come to that concerning the flag of Nigeria by some ignorant persons in the north during the protest, raising one other flag and, stepping on the Nigerian flag. But then, things that identifies us as a people, things that represent us as a people, the naira, the coat of arms, the national flag, the passports and all that should be treated with utmost respect, because it is what identifies us as a people. It is what, it is what identifies us as a people. What's your take on this, disrespect to our national passports?
One, she has violated the law. She has abused the Nigerian identity.
Yes,
for destroying a passport.
Yes. Irrespective of what it is, that is a disrespect. There is no excuse for that.
Exactly. So our action, even she was never remorseful. When she was asked why she destroyed the passport, the question she asked was, she said, "Is it your passport?" So can you imagine? She did this.
You see, with that statement,
willful destruction.
Yes, that statement alone is to say that this passport is a personal thing. No, it is not your personal thing. It is a national property. The naira, irrespective of how you got it, yes, it is your own, but it is a national property. When you abuse it, you will be arrested for it. You can't just say it is my money, it is my property. It is a national property.
Yeah. So the Nigerian immigration needs to use her as a scapegoat.
Exactly.
You know, to show Nigerians that you don't abuse our identity, irrespective of what has happened, irrespective of the surrounding circumstance. Look at Bobrisky. Bobrisky was only for spreading naira notes only for spreading naira notes on the ground. Can you imagine it was an abuse of the Nigerian currency? Okay, now look at this person that was intentionally, willfully, she willfully destroyed her husband's Nigerian passport. Like willfully. So she just shot herself on the leg. There's no country in the world. There's no country in the world where you will tear the international passport of another person and not get arrested by the military.
It is only in this part of the world that we disrespect our national property. You see people abuse the naira, abuse the Nigerian flag, abuse just do. It is only in this part of the country. If you go to other place, you see the way they respect their flag, they respect their currency, they respect their national properties.
So that's it. I just wish in short, by now, she should have been arrested already.
But then,
do you understand?
Yes. Moving forward,
the officials there did not even carry the immigration officials there did not even carry out their job, because immediately they saw it, that woman is not supposed to even go out of there.
And that reminds me
from there straight to prison.
And that also reminds me of a video of an immigration officer. I think an immigration officer asking for asking for tip from somebody who's just coming into the country. I don't know if you saw that video. Nigerians, we need to understand that we should do everything possible to respect our nation and not misbehave, all in the name of whatsoever. All right, let's move on to the very next story here. Dangote Refinery and its crude supply wars. It's quite a lengthy one. I would advise, or I would suggest, or will I use the word? What's the word? I would encourage everyone. That's the word. I would encourage everyone to pick a soft copy of Leadership newspaper, or probably the hard copy if it's there. But then the soft copy of Leadership newspaper has this very story, and let's just quickly talk about it. Ever since the Dangote Refinery began production last year, it has faced numerous challenges. It has been in conflict with many major players in the oil and gas industry, including the National Oil Company, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, as well as the two industry regulators, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, and the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The management of the facility has accused these entities of either directly sabotaging the refinery or attempting to do so by limiting its access to required crude supply and penetration of the local market. In the past 2 months, conflicts have been commonplace between the refineries management and the strategic operator and regulators. NNPC Limited, the regulators, NNPC Limited, and the regulators have denied all the accusations and maintained that their operations comply with the laws outlined in the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 and the accompanying regulations. Yes, Dangote Refinery is in the news again, and also that reminds me of I think I think Edo refinery or something like that is also complaining of. Is also in the news talking about shortage and non-supply of crude oil, challenges with crude oil, and all that. This is the current state of the nation. Why is it difficult for us as a people, as a nation, to encourage our own? You will hear politicians preach patriotism. You will hear politicians preach patriotism every now and then. But then, when it comes to them being patriotic, they are not. Dangote refinery has been facing quite a number of challenges, and also other refineries in Nigeria. What is the problem with Nigeria and the fact that its refineries, her refineries, cannot operate peacefully? Agami Victor, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I would say one, it's the fear of monopoly.
The fear of monopoly from which angle now?
From the federal government. They are scared that, this man now, you look at, he operates in the cement industry, sugar, consumables, almost everything, flour. He's there. It's just, Dangote is a household name.
Okay.
And now, he has entered into oil.
Okay.
So why they are really fighting him now, despite the fact that
okay.
So
are you trying to
that's how they make their money.
Okay. So are you trying to say the Nigerian government will rather export crude oil than to sell crude oil to local refineries like Dangote refinery and other refineries, based on the fact that they stand to benefit more exporting crude oil rather than selling to local refineries, our own owners of legal refineries? Are you trying to say the government will profit more exporting crude oil than selling to Dangote and the likes?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That's the point. Because it's just a business strategy. It's just business. It's purely business, nothing else.
All right. Moving on. If you've just joined, we are currently looking into the current state of the nation and the way forward. We've said a few things, and we are getting close to the end of this session. This very one here says food inflation, which is also part of the current state of the nation. Food inflation dropping, prices of yam, tomatoes declining, Tinubu's aid on Nanuga. Is this a true statement or a political statement, Mr. Victor?
I would say is a true statement.
That food inflation is dropping.
It has not really. Yes, gradually. It's gradually, but it has not reduced.
Okay.
But it's gradually reducing.
Okay.
One, fuel is now available.
Somebody beside me is asking me where exactly is this dropping? Where exactly is it happening? For where this food the food inflation dropping, where exactly? Please give us location so that we'll bombard that area and go and because that was why I asked, is this a statement of fact or political statement? Because I know how much fufu is I mean, what am I saying? I know how much. If you know where I'm coming from now. We know how much we buy fufu yesterday night, just yesterday. My brother, this is in my own opinion, this is a political statement. Well, maybe it is happening in some places, but it will spread across the nation. And also,
I tell Mr. David,
yes, sir.
I tell people that the people who suffer the most, they are final consumers. They are the people who suffer the most, because the wholesalers, those that buy wholesale, they go to the market, the exact prices. Those that sell, and they sell to the retailers, those that sell to the retailers also add money to what they have got because they also make profit. Now, before the retailer sells to the final consumers, that are you and I, you know what it will be now. You know the price. That's why the consumers will keep suffering. The final until you start buying stuffs in bags, in bulk, in larger quantities, you will not understand how this thing works. Even when price of goods comes down, people that are selling retail stuffs, they will still maintain their price because they want to make profit.
All right.
Some persons, based on greed, they maintain their price, despite the fact that prices of goods have gone down.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. And it's just like when there is fuel scarcity, transportation will go higher. And when there's availability of fuel and there's no scarcity anymore or queues in various fuel stations, the prices of the price of transportation will still remain high and not low. Anyway, I agree with that statement.
Exactly.
All right, then we'll take this very one, which is part of the current states of the nation that we are talking about this morning. They were at wrong place. Poland denies nationals waved Russian flag. So yeah, there's an allegation that those who waved the Russian flag at the particular location where the Russian flag was raised, the allegation is that the people who raised the flags are people from Poland. All right, they were not. They were at wrong place. Poland denies nationals waved Russian flag. So yeah, it says here that from Daily Post that Poland has denied claims that its nationals were involved in the waving of Russian flags during the End Bad Governance protests in Kano State. During the just ended nationwide protests, some protesters were seen brandishing the Russian flag in some states of the north. Following the brandishing of the Russian flag, the Department of State Service DSS arrested 7 Polish nationals over the flag saga in Kano. The spokesman of DSS, Peter Afunaya, confirmed during a meeting with members of the diplomatic corps on August 7, saying the Polish are being investigated. But Poland's deputy foreign minister Poland deputy foreign minister said the Polish nationals were taking photos and didn't carry a Russian flag. In 1 minute, what's your take on this? They are now accusing another set of people from Poland that they were the ones waving the flag and not Nigerians or Northerners. But 7 people have been arrested for investigation. And then, Poland has come out to say, no, those people that you are accusing were at the wrong place. I mean, they were there to take pictures and not wave the Russian flag, as claimed. Yes.
If there are no evidences to prove that they held the national the Russian flag,
yes,
then they cannot be probed for it. The Poland deputy foreign minister already said that they were just taking pictures. They did not carry the Russian flag. So to prove them wrong, they have to bring their evidence. There has to be an evidence showing that these people actually carry the Russian flag. Else, they cannot be probed for it.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that to see what unfolds from that very one. We'll take our very last this morning, and yes, it is on the Olympics. We deserve more. Sport minister apologizes. Sport minister apologizes for Nigeria's Olympics performance. Okay, reading from Channels News. The Olympic Games Paris 2024 has ended, and I accept that our performance should have been a lot better. I fell short of our objectives, expectations, and hopes of Nigerians. I must apologize to our compatriots and reflect on what went wrong while looking forward to the Paralympic Games, Paris 2024, August 28, September 8. When I assumed office as the Minister of Sports Development in August 2023, I was confronted with the task of executing 4 international competitions, namely the AFCON and the African Games and the Olympic and the Paralympic Games in a matter of few months. I was also reminded that the Olympic Games is the world's supreme sports competition, and countries require at least 4 years to prepare for it. I held extensive discussions with the management staff of the ministry and get to know that preparations for the Olympics, which was less than a year away, had not started. Mr. Victor, in 1 minute, why are we always having excuse for failure at every given point in time we get to our sportsmen and women represent us in world competitions? We always return back with 1 or 2 excuses. When are we going to get it right? Are we ever going to get it right?
It's quite disheartening. It's very, very disheartening that after all the money that was allocated for the Olympics, we couldn't even come out with 1 medal. One. No, not one. Can you imagine? So 12 billion, the President Tinubu allocated 12 billion
12 billion naira
for the Olympics. 12 billion naira for the Olympics. Can you imagine? It shows that there is something wrong with the system. There is something, even with all the money that was allocated, we couldn't even come out, the giant of Africa, we couldn't even come out with no single medal, not even a bronze. It's quite disheartening, I must say.
All right.
Once you look at a situation of this, it still boils down to bad leadership. There are people that are meant to be at the Olympics, talented people. We've talked about this before, where people now, those in leadership, what they use, they are so driven into nepotism that they only favor those that are close to them. There are people that are supposed to be at the Olympics, but they did not even smell the Olympics because of favoritism. In our world, look at what other people did. Look at what other countries did.
I mean, it got to a point where
Even
somebody had
that
to
had less that countries. Yeah, listen. Countries that the money allocated for the Olympics was not even close to. Close to what we spent.
Even Ukraine, and that is facing.
They came out with.
At least even Ukraine that is facing war, I mean, also did well to a large extent. But then it's all good. Moving forward,
it's quite disheartening.
We need to do more. This is the point where we'll call it a day on Table Talk today. Looking into the current state of the nation and the way forward. It has been a wonderful time, though a bit rough at the beginning, but then, I mean, we're able to skate through and has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you very much, Vic. And we'll do this again.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah, now. Lagos, Nigeria, this is the point where we call it a day. We'll be back at 1 p.m. for Real Estate Market Trend, the platform where we bring to you latest trends and happenings in the real estate industry, ranging from real estate, properties, environment, and mortgage as well. God bless you all and see you again.
Hello everyone, my name is David, Programs and Broadcast Coordinator for Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. Would you love to feature on any of the Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio program? Do well to reach out to us via the number right there on the screen, irrespective of who you are, what you are, where you are, and what you do. The Cedarwood Luxury Online platform is available and open to every one of you out there. So if you love to feature on any of our Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio programs, do well to reach out to us via the WhatsApp number right there on the screen, and boom, you'll be in the studio to speak with us. Do well to reach.
I know that you have gotten the notion that real estate is the thing of the mind. But what if I have shown you? Then you will know that real estate is a thing of sight. Take a look.